This PowerPoint presentation, throughout it, we're going to discuss the low literacy and the effects on graduation rates. How can we improve literacy levels for our students? The dropout research debunked. For years, the only way to detect dropout rates were through the U.S. Department of Education's reports. And through this report, the high school graduation rate was rated at about 80%, which was equivalent to a B. This later was proven wrong in research in 2001 and in 2003 by Jay Green of the Manhattan Institute and Chris Swanson. The graduation rate was actually closer to 70%, which was equivalent to a C. Through early research, Lois Donati and Gilbert Guerin, dropout prevention was a case of enhanced early literacy efforts, which basically focused on early literacy up to grade level 3 with the goal of increasing early literacy as it is linked to school success and the graduation rates of the students later. A few of the problems were students with learning disabilities and low academic achievement have higher dropout rates. Poor literacy levels, reading, writing, comprehension, and speaking is also a common characteristic of the high school dropouts. A downward spiral of failure if a student's reading isn't corrected at an early age leading to dropouts due to recurring failure. They had a few suggestions. One, increase literacy levels at the primary level and aim dropout prevention at lower level grades, parental involvement at the early stages of kindergarten to third grade, and correction for students at early grade levels. Stop them from learning to be learning disabled. As a result, greater academic success with increased literacy levels, and there were higher self-esteem leading to more successful high school and college careers. Bob Wise, with adolescent literacy, the cornerstone of success, focused on increasing literacy levels for adolescents or students above the third grade level. A few of the problems he encountered was in reports by Alliance. Wise found that about 6 million middle and high school students read below grade level. A common fix to this problem has been college remedial courses, which cost the U.S. almost $3.7 billion a year. Many states are stopping this. Excellent third grade readers are becoming not so excellent readers later as middle and high school students once the focus of literacy was taken away. Solutions they came up with was bridging the gap between the community and the school systems with literacy programs by educating parents on literacy and strategies. Graduate students from high school with literacy levels and knowledge to sustain at the next level as remediation programs were depleted. School-based interventions such as one-on-one, 25 to 45-minute tutoring at least 4 times a week, focused literacy programs in addition to English courses and parent education on literacy and the creative motivated readers. As a result, there were decreased costs for college remediation, funds that can be used for literacy programs, and Striving Readers programs by President Bush was successful in 8 states. Wise proposal to increase for adolescent readers at all states. So our goal, as it is proven there is a correlation between low literacy and dropout levels of high school and college students. We work to remove the barriers causing low literacy in order to increase the graduation rates of our students of the future. One of the methods, surveying consisting of 29 questions, of which 8 were multiple choice and others were open-ended to inspire discussion and ideas. According to the graph, can you go back for a second? As you can see with the pie graph, the burnt orange color was educators 6 to 80 years experience, aged 27 to 68. The orange was students aged 16 to 19, students 10 to 13 years. And the tannish color was parents aged 27 to 68 with kids 0 to 19 plus years of age. As a result, when you deal with low literacy, the government focus on issues such as safety has taken focus away from literacy problems. 66.67% said yes. 33.33% said no. Educators given enough free will with the instruction, basically being able to do what they desire. 19.05% said yes. You had a high rate of 80.95% that said no. When it came to standardized testing, contributed to dropout rates. 83.33% said yes. 16.67% said no. The standard testing takes away from teaching. 91.67% agreed. What is that? 8.33% said no, disagreed. For higher literacy leads to higher graduation rates. 100% across the board said yes. Notice high school dropout rates for low literacy students. 87.50% said yes. 12.50% said no. Has identified students with low literacy. 86.96% said yes. 13.04% said no. And parents with child with low literacy. 47.62% yes. 52.38% said no. This is, I compiled and put together a question and answer thing. Did you as a student feel your parent was active and promoted literacy and reading? Anyone?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Well, according to this, 79.17% responded yes, with 20.83% saying no. So this is just an example of some of the questions. You can zoom in just to kind of get a general idea of some of the questions that were asked and some of the responses that were given. Here's more questions. And some of the questions were just what can educators do to improve literacy levels of students with low literacy? What are some methods to be used to teach students with low literacy levels? And what can be done to help students transition to middle school, high school, and college? And how do we bridge the gap between the home educator to improve literacy levels in our students? Now, how can we work together to deplete the barriers that are setting our kids up for failure? We're setting our kids up for failure as a result of low literacy levels. A few suggestions were bridge the gap between the parent, the home, and the students. Parents and educators can work together to increase literacy. This was a common concern for most educators, parents, and students. And as a result of that, increased literacy levels for students, increased motivation with parental involvement, and teachers becoming risk takers by adapting learning environments and styles for the students. Increase the participation by parents in middle and school meetings and local, statewide political meetings regarding education. As a result, it increased the pressure on communities and politicians to focus on the literacy programs and the education of students, the educating of students. District coaches for middle and high school students for at least 3 years to act as counseling intervention and guidance in academics. And as a result, the students were given an environment where they can celebrate success and also receive information as they progress to higher levels in education. So in closing, the children of today are leaders of tomorrow, and education is a very important weapon to prepare children for their future roles as leaders of the community. This here was stated by Nelson Mandela, and this is a way that we can focus, something we can live and strive and hopefully make a better place for our children. Thank you for your time and your patience.
Everyone say, voila.